What's up, everybody? My name is Kyphxr, and welcome back to Kult Rising. Tonight, we're going to be going over the state of the game, what we have done so far in 2024, and maybe a little bit of what we're planning on in 2025. We shifted over to Unreal Engine about 2 months ago, and I've been using GOG Galaxy to launch the project, and so we currently have 170 hours so far. And I think we're at the point now where the early access slash demo version of the game is finished. And so I think what I'm going to do for the game is sometime in the next month or two, we're going to release into early access. So when we release on early access, this is what you'll launch into. This is the menu screen here. Honestly, a lot of things are going to change over the next, couple years, honestly. Everything's going to be updated and changed out, but at the moment, I do like where this is at, and that'll take you to here. And this is going to be the demo slash early access area for now. So as you can see, well, that one camera view is broken, but there's a first person camera view, third person, and then this is going to be a top down. It's not working at the moment, but we'll leave in third person for right now. So when we launch into early access, this is what will be available in the game. You have void walking, the space clicker, and then you have the horror core and dream core walking sims. And then over here we have material extraction, but this isn't finished yet. I can show you what's done so far, but when the game releases, this is going to be blocked off like this. And so when the game first launches, we're going to launch it as free to play while it's in early access here. And so anybody who supports the game, well, it's not even supporting the game. Anybody who plays the game at this point will get the game for free, and will have it for free through the rest of the game's life cycle. And then as the game evolves, because it's going to expand, honestly, an enormous amount from what it's at right now. But as we push out big patches and updates, we're going to be incrementally increasing the price. And we'll have all that available on the Steam page, so you'll know when the price changes are happening. You'll have time to buy it beforehand, and we'll also be doing lots of sales and things like that. So when we launch into early access, you'll have these 4 levels available to you. And so we'll start with void walking over here. So this level is pretty straightforward. If you watch my channel and you've watched my half sword videos, it's the exact same concept as half sword, except for with my combat system. I need to fix that, but as you can see, this is the inventory. You have your stats here, and then your actual inventory here. You can equip your items. I need to put in hand slots. The weapons just kind of float below you. But then, as you move forward, enemies will spawn, and you'll get to fight those enemies through different waves. And so right now, only the first wave is set up, and it escalates kind of quickly here, as you'll see. But I'm going to build out a more complex, roguelike system for this mode. I also need to increase the brightness. Normally I can do this without dying. As you can see, I'm bad tonight. Because when you level up, it heals you, and so normally as long as I kill people fast enough, they can't kill me. But obviously none of the balancing or anything is really done for this game mode right now. I just wanted to have the actual logic in place to set it up. And so then I'm actually going to run over here for a second. You can see we have different items here that you get as drops. You can upgrade you can change out your weapons. There's different rarities. We didn't get any better rarities, but as you can see, when you get to the end, the boss spawns, and then really what's going to happen is when you kill the boss, you'll start the second wave. I don't have that programmed in yet, so whenever I kill the boss, it's just going to send me back to the kind of main hub area. So then over here we have the space clicker, and this is just a pretty simple clicker game. I will be expanding this over time too. Realistically, like I said, everything's going to be expanded over the next year or so, but this is a pretty straightforward clicker game. It's space themed. It's kind of set up like EVE Online, and we'll get more advanced controls and things like that in the future, but for right now, you can use W and S to move forward and backwards, And then you can use this navigation panel over here, and then as you can see, your camera moves and then your ship will follow. But it's all pretty straightforward stuff. You click the planets or the asteroid, and then you get money for it. As you get money, you can unlock new ones. Okay, well, clearly something's bugged, but you can see, as you see here, you can unlock drones for each of the planets. And then when you unlock the drones, they'll begin mining on their own, and then you'll build up money over time. And then you can see your statistics here. You can get rewards after collecting certain thresholds here. You can use the mouse wheel to zoom in, and then I'm not sure why it's not working. You should be able to... There's something wrong with the mouse inputs, but you should be able to move the camera, rotate the camera around your ship. But if you click this, it'll take you back to the demo, and then from there we have 2 more levels. We have this one, which is the horror core. This is what we were working on, I believe, in the last devlog. I'm honestly not sure though. Okay, well, I'm not sure why the lighting's so busted. But as you can see, this door will take you back to the demo. And the lighting is super messed up. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to fix the lighting. It's not meant to be this dark. Are you even gonna be able to see anything? Well, all we have anyways is this one room here. You can come down here and then look out this. And you get to look out into the void. But this will be... It's not just going to be the pool rooms, honestly, but this is going to be a full... It'll probably be more than just exclusively back rooms too, but it'll be a full walking simulator, and it'll be like very liminal and horror themed. And then this one's going to be the same idea, except instead of being liminal and horror themed, it's going to be liminal and dreamcore themed. Obviously, there's nothing done here. We have a sky. But this is going to be like the calm, peaceful, relaxing version of what the horror core is. Then I can show you what the material extraction looks like so far. So this here is the material extraction, and this city is nothing like what it's going to look like. I'll show you the real city next, but this one has some of the enemy AI spawns set up, so I'm going to use this one for now. But the general idea of this is that you'll have this big city that you get to explore, and it'll be filled with different SCPs, different human factions. And the general idea is you'll do missions up here. I think a majority of the actual story campaign missions are going to take place up in the overworld here as one of the 4 dimensions. I think we're going to have 2 dimensions at the moment. We'll look at the other ones in a little bit, but the general idea is you'll fight through enemies up here, and you'll collect resources that you won't be able to get in the sort of core survival area, which is going to be the SCP-3008. But then, so you come up here, you fight enemies, you get exclusive drops from that you can't get in the other zones, and then at the end, you have to extract it all to take it back to your base. So this is essentially going to be an extraction shooter. So this here is the real city, but I think I was paused when I was showing the animation, so we're actually not going to look at this yet. We're going to show how you get here first. So now we're getting out of the demo early access into the actual kind of setup for the game. But first, we're going to look at the animations. So we have basic inspect animations for the weapons. And then we also have a peek around feature. So if you're up against a wall and you hold Alt and Q, you will peek out around the side of the wall. And then when you let go of Q, it'll pull you back in. And then you also have the lean, which is just your standard leaning you can do anywhere. And then you have the peek out. And then as you can see, the animation for your equipment reacts dynamically to how close you are to a wall. So if you're close to a wall, you'll put your gun up or down depending which direction you're looking, and then whenever you sprint, it pulls it out of you too. Now, admittedly, the gun animations are the only ones we have so far that really look good in first person. The rest of them are kind of designed for third person, so we need to fix that, but we'll get to that in a second. So, without giving away any spoilers for the plot, this is where you're going to start the game out, and like I mentioned before, this is where whenever we will launch into early access, this is all you're going to have access to, and then the free demo of the game will just be this area as well. But when the game fully launches, you'll get a prompt telling you that you're asleep and you need to wake up, and so when you wake up, you're actually going to wake up. You know what, actually that's too much spoilers. So you're gonna wake up in, it previously was a space station. It's actually not gonna be a space station anymore, but you're gonna wake up in a laboratory that's under attack, and so you need to escape the laboratory, and the only exit you're able to find is a doorway into the labyrinth. And so you go through the doorway, and so going through the doorway will take you to Limbo. Once you're there, you'll need to get in a car, and I'm not sure what the threat's gonna be yet, but you'll need to use the car to escape from the threat, and so you'll need to drive through this whole world, which as you can see is not built yet. But while you're driving, you can use Alt, and that'll unlock the camera from the car, and that'll allow you to look around. And then pressing Alt again will snap you back into view. There is also multiple camera modes, so if you want to drive in first person, you can do that. Although as you can see, the interior of the car is not currently there. As you can see, the physics are a little janky, and the audio needs turned down a little bit. That literally made me jump. But then you'll get here, you'll need to cross the sky bridge, which is incredibly boring to drive across at the moment, so we're just gonna skip this. As you can see, the lighting's a little bit overexposed and messed up in this level. I think the issue is actually the fog. I need to tune down the exponential height fog a little bit, but when you get to the other end of the bridge, there's a doorway, and when you drive through the doorway, you will load into kind of the core area of the base, and so, or the core area of the game. And so this here, we'll actually switch it to first person. This here, well, this is gonna be your main base. This is floor 0 of the labyrinth. Down below us here is this dimension's version of SCP-3008, which instead of being an infinite IKEA is an infinite, I guess, arcade / casino. I've been calling it an infinite entertainment complex, but this here is going to be kind of the core area of the game. So like everything else, the lighting isn't great yet. But this here is the elevator. This isn't completely set up yet, but the general idea is this is going to be a scavenging based, basically a company like. It's Lethal Company, but instead of going to space, you're just going through different levels of this place. And so if you come down here, you can take this lift, and this will take you down to, like I said, this dimension's version of SCP-3008. And so you'll come down here, you'll scavenge for materials and supplies, things like that. All the icons are super stupid right now. we need to replace most of those. There also will be a building system that I haven't implemented yet, but the general idea is you'll come down here, you'll get to explore, gather resources, and build out your base. There are enemies around that spawn, and this is just going to be kind of the core area. So this is going to be a survival, I'm hesitant to say horror, it's going to be a survival game with horror elements. And so as you can see, most of it's just gray boxed right now. There's not a whole lot done. But like I said, it's going to be kind of anything that has the same sort of aesthetic as like a nightclub or a casino or an arcade, things like that. And it's all going to be wrapped up into this one giant sort of liminal area that you can explore and survive in. And then you'll build up your base around this place with floor 0 up here serving as sort of your base of operations, because no enemies will be able to spawn here. And then I'm going to have some sort of day-night cycle where more enemies spawn at night. I'm not sure 100% sure yet. I'll probably just do like the lights turning on and off. Up here, whenever you start the game, this staircase won't be here. This is an upgrade that you can add to the base, but then once you do that, as you can see, this actually isn't super built out either, but you'll be able to start building out your more high-tech base of operations, and then eventually you'll be able to take the elevator up into the real world, but we'll get to that in a second. I want to make sure we cover everything here. Oh, we have this over here. I want to say it's SCP 112, but don't quote me on that. Whatever SCP is the roller coaster that takes you to random places, that's what this is going to be. And it's going to be, I can't actually show you what we have so far, but it's pretty simple mechanics. You'll get on, you'll start it, and then you'll go through this pipe here, and it'll take you to, okay, wanted to make sure it stopped. It'll take you to, well, one of a bunch of different levels that it possibly can be. And then those levels will operate kind of like Void Train. As you can see, it's kind of scuffed right now, but you can float in the air and then you'll drop back onto the platform. And so the general idea is you'll go through and you'll do runs through here, you'll collect resources, and then it'll bring you back here and you can drop those resources off at your base. I think that is everything that's finished here for now. This is where the pool rooms are going to be. They're not actually going to be on this level, but there's going to be a bunch of entrances to them over here. There's going to be a sort of water park area. As you can see, this is going to be the theme park. The arcade's going to be over there, the cafeteria, and then through there is going to be staff housing. The staff members are probably going to be the primary enemy for a while, especially in early game. I don't actually have them set up yet. I do have like an enemy set up for them, but they're just like the default mannequin. We can go look at that. But it works the same way that the void walking works in the demo area. It's the same combat system. That void walking is just a way to test out and play around with the different weapons and everything. But then you can come down here, fight enemies, collect resources, and build up your base. Then eventually, once you upgrade the elevator enough, and like I said, the elevator is going to operate on a scavenger horror kind of game. So you'll go down to a level and then you'll have to run through it, collect items, avoid the monsters, and then come back to the elevator and then go down farther. And then at the end of all of it, you'll have to do an extraction event. If you played GTFO before, I think I'm going to do something similar to that. So at the end, you'll have to fight like a whole wave of a bunch of different enemies. And then if you're able to defeat them all and escape, you get to keep the stuff. And then as you do that, you get to upgrade the elevator, you get access to more levels, and you get more control over which levels you can go to. Whenever you first start, it's just going to be random what level the elevator takes you to. And then once you upgrade it enough, it'll be able to go out into the real world. And so once you get to that point, it'll take you to it'll take you to here, which is in the outside world. And so this is kind of the main city. And as you can see from this entrance here, it definitely takes a lot of inspiration from The Division. But the general idea of the overworld here is that, okay, I need to fix these doors. But the general idea of the overworld is going to be that the Foundation has basically become corrupt and has taken over. And so this is going to close on me, right? Okay, these doors are really busted. The idea is that the Foundation is taken over, and so you're forming a resistance to fight against them. So this here is going to be kind of your main base, and you'll recruit different people and you'll complete missions. There's a pretty simple target practicing up here. As you can see, this city isn't super built out yet, although I do kind of like how this first street is looking. I don't have the stairs put in here, but okay, that's actually solid. Am I stuck? I am stuck. But this will be your sort of main base of operations. You'll recruit NPCs, you'll unlock different things, and you'll unlock different missions. And then I can show you what's done for the city so far. There's not a whole lot, but this here is 14th Street. And this is kind of a back alley of the city. Not a back, well, it's one of the outside edges of the city. But the general idea with the city is going to be that it starts out here just kind of generally looking like a city, and as you get closer to the center, it's going to get a lot more dense and the buildings are going to get a lot taller, and so it's going to kind of build upwards in the center. And then the lore-wise, the idea for the city is this area here is going to be sort of the underworld, and then as you go higher up, you'll get to the higher classes of people. So down here will be pretty much just like criminals and basically Cyberpunk 2077, and then as you go up, you'll get to like executives and rich people and things like that. And then you'll play out missions in this area, well, in the overworld here, to fight against the Foundation and recruit NPCs. But actually, I can just show you what the city looks like so far from the editor. It's going to be a lot faster than flying around everywhere. But this is what we have so far. So back here is 14th Street. This is sort of your main base. This is the rooftop you can get to. And then these are the truck doors. This is just an alley back here. I'm not 100% sure what's going to be back here. But then you have 14th Street, which connects to the southern edge of the main city, which I think is going to be called Metropolis. But this is the south edge, and then the city is going to... I'm actually not 100% sure what the size is going to be. Right now, it's going to pretty much fill out this area here, and then like I said, it's going to start off... Well, this isn't short, but it's going to start off generally at this height and then build higher up as you get to the center. And so the center buildings will be these like massive mega structures. Kind of similar to like the giant towers from Judge Dredd. But this will be kind of where you carry out the main campaigns. And then the rewards from the campaigns and the materials and everything you'll use back in that SCP-3008 main base sort of setup. But I am really happy with where things are at, especially considering we've only been working in Unreal for 2 months now, like I said. And so this is about 200 hours of work. We are just about done with all of the early access demo phase, so that's pretty much done, and that should be up on Steam within the next like month or so. Past that, I'm not 100% sure yet. I do have a little bit of a roadmap on the changelog, but I think I'm gonna need to rewrite that because plans have changed and things have shifted around a little bit. But overall, I am really happy with where this is at right now. I'm sure it's gonna change, like I've said multiple times. I'm sure it's gonna change a lot over the next couple months and over the next few years. but it should be available on Steam soon for you to wishlist. But I think that's everything that we have. I'm trying to think, but I think that's everything that's done right now. And a lot of this isn't even really done. It's just that demo section that's finished. But I think that's everything. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Oh wait, I'm stupid. That's not everything. Literally my favorite feature. So, like I said, this is going to be like a survival crafting game. Down here, there's going to be buildings so you can build a base. But the crafting menu, I mean, it's kind of just ripped from the forest. But this is what the crafting menu looks like. And it's going to work the way that your inventory does in the forest, except for it's just going to be for crafting. And as you can see, my computer can't handle this in the editor. And it's also not set up right now. But you'll just click on the different items, it'll put it in the center here, and then you can combine them together to craft them. But this, I think, is one of the coolest looking parts of the game so far. Obviously it needs optimized better, but it does look really cool. Can I put this, is it easy? Can you see if I have my flashlight on? Yeah, you can kind of. But anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share for more. Check out the main channel for the scripted, more informative content, and I will see you next time.